If this is just going to be a quick demo, just a watercolor landscape scene. So just adding the water to the sky area of the painting using this number 1-inch hake. And then I'm just going to tap in a little bit of ultramarine here and there in the sky area. So it gives me a nice little sky and a little bit of yellow ochre just underneath. So it gives that nice warmth to the sky. Just mix in just a couple of areas here and there as well as I go. I do have some tissue to hand, so it's always nice to blot out any clouds that you want in the sky and just lighten up just a couple of areas. It's nice when you're painting sky just to have a few paler and light areas. And I'm gonna grab a little bit of red as well, just to, well, I'm saying red, pyro red, and a little bit of the French ultramarine. Just touch them in, just at the bottom of the clouds. And it's good to have a few broken areas, so where the paint's run out and you got a bit of dry brush, that sort of thing. So you get this sort of thing happening in the sky as well, which is always quite nice. Just blend in some of the clouds and blend in some of the colours, just so you get that nice softer area in the sky. I want a little bit of darker colour as well. Darker sort of clouds here and there, not too many. There we go. So it gives it that nice little effect. And I'm just squeezing my brush out again, just squeezing the excess water. And just softening a few areas here and there. Always nice in a landscape scene. So maybe I'll touch in a little bit more blue. Just give a bit more depth to the sky and blend it as well as I go in. So I've got these nice sort of fluffy clouds, and I do like doing these in watercolour. Oh, thanks for the like. Niall, hi. Whereabouts are you from? I don't know yet, to be honest. I'm just going in with the paint, seeing what happens. I do like doing these spontaneous sort of paintings. So if you stick with me, you'll see how this painting progresses. But it's nice to have you here. Thank you if you've hit the like. I do appreciate that. Anyone who's here, just tap the like. And I think I'm going to add, I do like painting these mountain sort of scenes, so this being no exception. I'm going to add a little bit more Payne's grey, a little bit more of the blue. So this is a French ultramarine, but you can use any blue that you have. Don't worry too much about the blue. You could use cobalt or anything like that. Painting, yeah, I'm just going in with a simple landscape painting. Just going in with a simple landscape, and yeah, hopefully you enjoy this. It's quite a quick one, really. Obviously, being live, I can't wait around for things to dry that much. So just a couple of mountains there, you can see quite easily to do. Got my mop brush, which I do like using after I've finished with the hake. And you can also, to add a bit more atmosphere, if you like doing these landscape paintings, you want a little bit of atmosphere as well in the painting. So what I'm doing is just cleaning out my brush and just taking some of that pigment, softening it, blending it, and taking some pigment out. And what I'm going to do, just use a little bit of tissue just to pull out a little bit of mist in this area. Now, other things that I'm going to do as well, I'm going to show you, if you've not seen, using the cling film. When I say cling film, it's this kitchen sort of, you've probably got this at home. I'm going to use that as well, just to give me some details in the foreground. But yeah, that's the plan. And I'm going to play it by what happens on the paper, not too fussed, but I'm going to add things as things happen. I'm going to react to the painting, not really controlling too much, just manipulating here and there. Now, so this little area, I'm going to add maybe add a little bit more dark, and add a little bit of red as well. Red and the French ultramarine. So I've got this nice little foreground, and what I'm going to do, I'm just going to add the cling film to that. So that's going to give me a nice texture in the foreground. So I'm going to leave that to dry a little bit. You can see what I've done there, just adding some kitchen film, some cling film they call it here in the UK, but just leaving that to, and you can crunch it up, you can do whatever you want just to allow that to give a nice texture. So we'll see what happens there in the foreground as I pull that off later on in the painting. So I think I'm going to add a little bit more, a little mountain here on the right hand side, and I'm going to go darker because this landscape, the further away you want to paint things a bit lighter, and obviously when you're coming forward in these scenes you want things just to become a little bit more saturated, a little bit more colour and a little bit more pigment to water. So that's what I'm doing here. Just going to go under the cling film a little bit. So let's see what you're saying. Oh, hi Susan, coming in and going, got to go to work. We'll tune in after it's done. Yeah, okay, thank you Susan. Don't forget to hit that like before you do disappear, and thank you for joining even briefly, and I hope you have a really nice day in work. So just touching in a few more things in this other ridge. Let me find my scraper. Let's see what everyone's saying. No. If you do hit that like, everyone, I do appreciate that. I do appreciate you being here. Always good. Always good to have you here, have new people. And if you want to subscribe to my channel, then please do. I do paint every single week. Get new videos on my channel. Just scraping out a few little rocks there, just a little scene, a little bit of rock formation, scraping out the highlights. So while the pigment's fairly wet and almost drying, you want to go in with a scraper. This is just a credit card scrape. Have a great day to you and your viewers. Hit the like. Thanks for the reminder. Thank you, Susan. It's always nice when someone else says hit the like. I don't feel like I'm annoying people. But yeah, I think I'll add a little bit more dark to the bottom of these mountain. This mountain. So this is just a neutral tint. I'm just gonna add a little bit of the French ultramarine. You can use any colour really. It's a mountain scene, so it's all good. And when when I do scrape these rocks, you know that I do like to just go in with a little bit of dark, just to help those rocks pop a little bit. Can you see that? I'm just going to move the camera just so that you can see what's happening there, which is really nice. And maybe, let's see, I can scrape a couple more sort of things happening. Not too many, I've got a couple there. So there we go. Got just a few little rocks in that area, so it looks quite nice. Let me know where you're from, everyone who's here. Oh, Natasha, hi. Didn't see you there. Welcome. Let me pull the camera back a little bit. So yeah, it doesn't take long to do these sort of paintings. Obviously, depending on experience, how confident you are. And I think that's what the key is in watercolour painting. It's all about confidence. If you practice as much as you can, these things do get easier. I can promise you that. These things do get easier as you practice as much as you can. I've been painting more consistently now for a few years, and certainly a lot of things that I've learned along the way, and it's definitely worth investing some time into painting if you do find it quite nice to do, if you do like painting. In fact, I think I'm going to grab some salt. Give me a second. Grab some salt for this demo. Just one of those things I just thought of. And I think it'll be quite nice in this little area here. And you'll see what happens to the areas as I add the salt. You can add as little or as much as you want of the salt, and that will give you a nice texture as well. So while I'm waiting for this cling film to dry, the cling film, the paint underneath the paint, I'm going to remove that in a few seconds, and I'm waiting for the salt to just give a little texture to that area as well. So just removing the cling film now. Hopefully you can see that. It's a really nice effect, a really nice technique to use, and you don't really need any experience. You don't need to be painting for a long time to get this sort of detail. I think really it would benefit if you went darker in this sort of area. In fact, let me grab this cling film. It doesn't matter if it's crinkled up like this. In fact, the more crinkles, the better, probably. You just get the, oh, it's not going to stay. Okay, I'll just leave that there. So you can see the sort of effects it has on the watercolour. It just gives that nice sort of organic mountain. You could use this with paintings with ice or anything like that in the scene. But I do like that, and I think what I'm going to do, I'm just going to go ahead and paint some more into this feature here. I don't know whether you can see it that well, but let me move the camera. You can see the effect that cling film does have. And like I said, the darker you go, probably the more effective that will be. But anyway, it is what it is. I'm just going to add different colours. It accentuates some of those shapes and things that have happened. It is really nice. It gives a nice little sort of pattern and things going on, and something that it'd be a bit of a challenge to paint, but it gives a nice effect in literally seconds, really. And you can see what's happening now, just adding some colours to those shapes that have been left with a cling film. I don't know what you call it in the States. What would you call it? Kitchen wrap? I'm not sure. Let me know what it's called in the States, in America. I would be interested in knowing what it's known as there. Well, you see, it just gives an interesting effect, and I'm happy to go with that, with this being a rocky mountain scene. And you can sort of vary your colours as well as you're painting this. So I think I'm going to tap into some yellow ochre, and there's still some neutral tint on my brush, so that's going to blend and give me a nice little feedback. If you do join, then please hit the thumbs up. Comments are also welcome. Oh, hi Jim. Glad Wrap here in New Zealand. Ah, Glad Wrap. That's interesting interesting name. I'm doing okay. Extra live this week. Yeah, you know, Jim, I'm just trying to get as many paintings as I can in. I'm trying to post more often. And I don't know whether you've seen, but I did mention I am going to be away. We're visiting Wales in on Monday and Tuesday, which is annoying because we've had lots of really nice weather. I think we've had New Zealand weather over here for the last sort of couple of weeks. I think we had a touch of rain at one point, but not much. And the weather is actually changing. Come Monday, it's just going to be back to normal, back to rain, and we're going to be stuck in Wales. But I do hope to bring you another video while I'm there. So hopefully that will happen. Maybe a live. I don't know how it's going to work out there in Wales. But I'll definitely do some videos, some video clips, things like that for you. So yeah, that's the plan. So I wanted to get another video in, a cheeky little video. So that's why I'm doing this live. So hopefully you can see what's going on here, just making the most of that texture. And I can leave some as well, just leave it a bit rugged, a bit lighter. Nice, mate. How far away is Wales? It's not actually that far from where I live. It'll take us about an hour and a half to get there, just over an hour. And you got some really nice places we do like visiting in North Wales. We're actually going to Anglesey. I don't know whether you've... Oh, that's not really done anything. I don't know whether you've heard of Anglesey, but it's a little island just off the north coast of Wales. And it's just a stunning place. We do like to get there whenever it's nice, the weather, and everyone's off on holiday, that sort of thing. So that's where it is. So it's not going to be too long of a journey. It's not really that far. You have Snowdonia in the north of Wales, and a place called Llandudno, which it's probably one of my favourite places, to be honest. I really like it in Llandudno. You know, those sort of places where you have a connection with and you just love to go. Nice beaches and things like that. But there's a few nice places. When I was growing up, a lot of my family lived in Rhyl, a place called Rhyl. It's gone a bit downhill now, but still like to visit just because of those childhood sort of memories. But yeah, we do like that sort of coast, North Wales. I've never been to South Wales or Mid Wales, anywhere like that. So I would like to get to see other parts of Wales as well one day. I know we've talked about going to Tenby, which is a bit further down. Just adding some with my liner brush, just a couple of trees on the mountain side. I do like these paintings. You probably, if you have seen my channel before, when you're watching something like this, it probably seems like you've seen it before, but I just like these sort of scenes. I find them quite easy to do, and yeah, it's just sort of a no-brainer. You can paint these without thinking too much, not too taxing. I'm going to add a few little bit of foliage on these couple of trees. Not too much. I want a little bit, just a little bit going on in these trees, and you can see my brush need a little bit more water, but just popping in a few little bits, and that I think will do. Just a couple here and there. Okay, and with the liner brush, what I like to do as well is just come in with some dark paint. This is neutral tint still, and just rough things up a little bit. It's a rugged scene, so I don't want anything too perfect or anything like that. So just popping in something, some sort of growth and things happening here. Yeah, it's an interesting looking country. Yeah, it is. It really is nice. What's the rigger brush you're using for trees, Dave? Looks like it holds a good amount of paint in a brush, you can call it. Yeah, well, this is a round brush, so this does hold plenty of water, and it's a natural hair brush. I think probably a squirrel hair brush. And then the rigger doesn't hold that much water, but it's more for lines and perfect for trees, branches, that sort of thing, and grasses. So that's what I like to use for details and grasses and things like that. So they're the brushes. I've got the 1-inch hair because normal. This one does hold a ton of paint, and it's nice to get the sky area and any large areas covered with paint as you start your painting. Let's see. Okay, yeah, so the liner brush is mostly good for foliage and, well, I say foliage, good for branches and sticks and twigs and branches, all that sort of thing. So that's what I use that for. Hopefully that helps, Jim. Hopefully that answers your question. I think it might. I'm just going in with my Hake brush, and just adding some texture along the bottom of this painting. And you can add different colours and just go mad. I'm using my tray, by the way, so I just scuff in all different sort of colours. I'm not really too fussed. Bits of green, bits of yellow ochre, Payne's grey, neutral tint, that sort of thing, and just adding just a bit of roughage in this scene. So there we go. What make is the rigger? Well, I'll tell you, it's an isobay. Don't really can see that it has faded. It is an isobay size 2/0. A really nice brush, and I do enjoy using that. I do have another one as well. Let's see, just a larger squirrel mop. Let's see. And that's size 10 squirrel, pure squirrel mop. The liner brush is actually Da Vinci. You can see that Da Vinci Maestro. So this is a mix of synthetic and natural hair, and it's a size 2. One of the things that I find quite funny with brushes, Jim, is depends what brand you go for. The same size in different brands are different sizes. They just they don't sort of correlate between different brands. So a size 2 in the Da Vinci could be a lot different to a different brand. Hopefully that's helpful, but really nice. As you can see, the liner brush, a really nice tool to use. If you do like painting these landscapes, then definitely a liner brush is definitely one of those things that you need to consider for your art supplies. I'm just going to add a little bit of alizarin crimson, a little bit of yellow ochre, just touching a couple of colours in this area. I think I will go in and scrape a few highlights as well. So I'll get some rocks on this side as well. And if you've not tried the technique of scraping rocks, it's definitely one that you can master quite quickly if you're new. Let me see, I think this might be ready for the scrape. Yep, it's okay. So you wanna scrape when the paper is almost drying. You want it to sort of hit it at the right time, so it's fairly damp, a little bit damp, not too wet. If you get it when it's wet, you're gonna have the paint just pooling back into the where you scraped. But if you get it too dry, then it's gonna just not scrape at all. I'm gonna add a little bit of darker tone now. I can really go to town with this dark. Let me get darker. It's not as dark as I wanted. But yeah, just a few darker tones underneath these rocks, and you'll see how much these do pop. Did anyone see my video of the car show, which I went to a few weeks ago? 4th of May, I went to see the car show. I did a video, I painted a car as well, which is the first time I've ever painted a car. So that's quite interesting. If you want to check that out, it's maybe a couple of videos ago now on my channel. So check that out when you've watched this live. It's quite interesting. I have painted cars before, but only inside the scene, inside a scene that I've painted. Now just add in some dry brush. When the paint runs out of the brush, you do get these nice, if it's a cold pressed paper, you do get this nice texture, which this is £140 cold press. So I'm getting that nice texture from the paper as my brush runs out of pigment. And then just touch in with this, it's faded, the brand, I can't remember what this is, but I can't see that anymore. Just a small round, smallish round. And again, like I said, I couldn't tell you the size because every brand, the sizes vary in whatever brand you get. So I couldn't tell you, unfortunately. I got a set of squirrel herb mop brushes of Temu. They aren't bad at all. Okay, yeah. My wife's a big fan of Temu. And my son's just ordered some stuff as well. Got a few fidget spinners, fidget things, whatever they are. My wife she's always shopping on there. I've never tried. I did look in, I think it was an advertisement from Instagram, something that I thought would be nice to have, and I went in to sort of have a look. I didn't buy anything, but they've just been hammering me with offers and £20 free vouchers and things like that. Not really done anything, but then I did see something else, and I think it was one of these clamps for the car, you know, for the phone, video, vlogging or whatever. I did have a look. and I had an offer. It went down to 6 items free, so 0. It would cost 0 and free shipping and all this. But I didn't buy it, and when I got to the 6th item, it was saying that I had to spend so much to get these items for free. So I didn't end up buying anything. But yeah, Temu. I know you can get some decent things from there. Quite interesting, as well as Shein as well. That's another one. Have you shopped on Shein? Don't ever buy watercolor paper off Temu. I don't think I ever would, to be fair, unless it was branded. But I'm sure I've heard someone online saying that it's copy. So I don't know, but I wouldn't buy any cheap watercolor. The cheapest watercolor that I do like is Bockingford, and this is actually Bockingford that I'm using here. It's not 100% cotton, but as for watercolor paper that's not cotton, I do rate this. Paper. It is a really nice paper, and you can get some really nice paintings, and it's a fraction of the price as well. So if you're after cheaper paper, then I would recommend Bockingford. It's a really nice paper to use. Do you use Bockingford, Jim? Don't know. Right, okay, I've read that. Yeah, so I think of all the things that you could, of all the art supplies that you can buy, I think paper's the most important, definitely. If you get cheaper paper, you can get cheaper results. But the paints that you can get nowadays, the Cotman paints, which are Winsor & Newton. I painted with those for a long time. There's nothing wrong with those paints at all. They're really quite nice. You can, it's not going to stop you from painting some really nice paintings with a Cotman paint. A bit confused today. So yeah, you can use any sort of paint within reason. But the paper, I think, is just, you don't want to go as cheap as you can with paper. And if you do, I suggest getting the Bockingford brand. It's really nice to use. Obviously, with painting, with watercolors, cotton is the sort of holy grail of watercolor paper. But it comes with a price as well. It is quite expensive. So, but there is, I use Jackson's for supplies, and they do have, you can get different brands of a pack of cotton paper. So if you wanted to try some Ash paper, which is a really nice paper, and Milford, different weights, you can actually get from Jackson's a sample pack. I did buy some. Can't remember. I think probably about 20 sheets of Milford, Ash, all these different, and they were all 100% cotton papers. So before you go in and sort of buy these cotton papers, you can actually try them. If you buy one of these sample sets from Jackson's, it just saves you money, saves you spending a lot of money on paper when you don't know quite which one to get. But if you are on a budget like me, then Bockingford is quite nice. You can get a pack of 50 for maybe £30, something like that. I don't know. Is that? I don't know how many dollars that would equate to. But yeah, you can get these sample sets, which is quite nice before you do commit on spending that extra money. But yeah, I mean, paints, by the by, you can get decent results. There's even White Knights, the Russian brand of watercolors, which are really nice, and they're professional graders, I believe. And they're really, really inexpensive. You get the trial packs here. They are about $150 for 20 A3 sheets. 20. Okay. Well, that's certainly cheaper than buying the pads or a pack of ash. So yeah, definitely worth trying. It really does make a massive difference. I know I was watching Karen Rice the other day on YouTube, and she was saying just invest in the best paper that you can afford, and it really does pay off. And I agree, totally. It definitely is something probably most important. I'd say paper, then probably brushes, and then paint. That's the order that I give it. So it'd be paper first, and then brushes. Brushes you can use forever. I've had these brushes for quite a few years, probably 5, 6 years, 7 years, even a lot of my brushes. So they just go forever if you look after them. But yeah, that's what I'd suggest. Always try and go for the paper, most important. I've done this, it feels like I've done this painting so many times, this sort of scene, but I never do tire of it, especially showing if you're a beginner. Just like the components of the painting, you can see how to do this sort of painting, this sort of style. It's quite simple, really. You just got your sky as the backdrop, and then in the distance a few mountains. I have added some mist into the scene, so it gives a little bit more atmosphere. And then just a few rocks using the cling film in the foreground. You can see the nice effect that give to the foreground. So I've just been painting over that and picking up some of the shapes, adding more tones to it. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So let me see what you're saying. Have you used Canson? £140. I just ordered a block of 20 A3 was $67. Yeah, I've not used the Canson, Jim. I know it's definitely probably a good paper. Is that 100% cotton? The Canson. I know there's different types of Canson paper, and it's one of those that I know would be good. I know a lot of people rave about that. So I'm sure you'll be quite happy with that paper when you get that, Jim. Canson is definitely one of those papers that I will try. I will get round to trying the Canson paper. I do actually want to get some drawing paper. I would like to do some drawings here on YouTube as well. Some pencil sketches, that sort of thing. Let me know in the comment section what you think. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Just a quick live today. Wanted to see what I could do. Looks okay, yes, 100% cotton, fairly smooth texture. It arrived today. Oh, okay. So it's a smooth texture. Well, that's fairly different. You can get some nice effects on the smooth paper if you're using ink, or if you're drawing quite a bit and just add a bit of a wash to it. It is a bit different. I do like texture on my paper, but I think you can use that for a lot of dry medium as well. Let me know how you get on, Jim. But yeah, I'll definitely try some Canson at some point. I know a lot of artists rave about that paper. But that's it for this one. Just a simple mountain scene. I wanted to show you scraping rocks, adding trees, just a nice sky and just a nice scene. Quite a simple one, and it doesn't matter really where you're at with painting. That's awesome, Dave. Great painting. Thank you, Jim. Thank you. I think I'll have to try changing the scene up, try doing other things. I mean, I think the car that I painted a few days ago, it was a challenge. It was a challenge, and I think one of the things that I'll probably do is paint more cars. They're quite easy to get references from. You just take your phone, snap a few pictures while you're out, and I'd love to paint some more cars. Yeah, line and wash paper, I'd say we'll get £300 next time. Yeah, I was quite surprised with one of the packs that I got, the sample packs, like I said, the cotton paper. I did get up to £500 in weight, and the painting was just crazy. The things that happen on the paper really does make a difference the heavier you go as well. But obviously the thing is, it just goes more expensive the heavier you get. But definitely nice paper. £300 would be really nice to use. Thanks for joining, everyone. Don't forget to hit that like. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.